Yeah, we're recording. Go ahead.
So you want to start out, Bridget, in this the kind of run down the agenda? I think, we all need to focus on, I think, the really wonderful agenda that was put together, which really talks about, what strategies are you working on to keep your mind and your body sharp. The book kind of, or the course kind of sets you up to ask you these questions and ask you to kind of identify those specific tasks that you're going to do to sharpen your mind, to pick certain books and start to list them and then integrate them into your routine, as well as looking at what your routine is to make sure that you're actually putting them into your schedule, to look at that daily routine of what you're doing and start to recognize what you're doing on a daily basis. I think will help you as you write every single hour of what you do, almost journaling or pre-journaling, setting your own daily agenda to start to understand what you're doing and what you need to do and what are the important things in your life to be able to get through. Certainly this course is one component, but just to be able to set your goals and your intention for moving forward. And I think it's probably good that maybe everybody kind of at least thinks about those components and starts to write them down if you haven't already, or if you're stuck in terms of, getting the right, number two, which is the role model, finding the right mentor. And I'm not talking about Tony or Dean, but someone that you can have close proximity to, whether it's proximity because you're physically close within their neighborhood or proximity in terms of spending time with them. Because having that time with the person that can give you knowledge, much like the whole concept of this KBB, you can then, surround yourself and help grow yourself to be able to help grow others in the specific fields that you're looking at. Whether you're focusing on being a health professional or a health advisor or nutrition advisor, obviously you need people that are super talented in those segments, and then draw on that knowledge and then be able to structure it in a way that you can intelligently, first for yourself, write it back down and teach yourself back to make sure that you've truly captured the information, and then practice through whether it's video recording of yourself or just practicing with your friends, but or this group, being able to explain what it is you know or have learned and how you're going to share that in packets so that that knowledge is succinct and able to be transferred to another person. And it takes a lot of structure and a lot of conversation, and in some sense, much like this forum and having a succinct agenda to go through those item by item with your mentor so that they can help you grow in the areas that you're trying to help others grow within or build your business. And I don't know if we could just go through, it's 14 people, but if we each one just tells what they're doing today to address, a mentorship, or have they reached out, so forth. I have not spent time in the last few days as I've sort of, other than looking through the piece, I have written to a former associate of mine at Universal Studios who runs the streaming of Peacock, which is their streaming component of their industry. Because I know him, I've written to him asking if he would be willing to be a mentor for me. I'm not sure if legally he can, because what I'm trying to build is not necessarily competitive, but it is a liked product as a streaming media company. So I may get a negative response from him, but I figured I should ask. I'm reaching out to others as well in the industry that I know that have done production for the Health Channel and a few other things that I've worked with in the past, mostly from Universal, because that's been my past experience and connective network. But I'm sure there are others in this group that have other networks and people in various areas that they would want to connect with. So if you want to just run through, Bridget, maybe you can kind of be the facilitator to bring on each person and have them just answer the quick question about who they think they would like as a mentor if they don't have one at the moment.
So you want to go through 1 through 9 for each person, or just?
No, well, I think, I think we should be selective about, and if they want to talk about one of these areas that we have as our outline, just talk about one thing that they are doing to fulfill one of these categories. I chose the mentor piece because I think for myself, even just thinking about it took some time to think about who's in my network, who should I be reaching out to do, what aspect, because I have several businesses, as you know, which one should I focus on now? And then I realized I needed to focus on one and then reach out. So, and I didn't want to go through all the other ones that I've been working on. So I just laid out the one, if someone, but I think each one of us need the airtime to talk to the group about their progress and what they're doing, so that it gives them that, airtime is important. It's that face-to-face with a group, and this is a very safe group. So no one should be uncomfortable about what they're saying or where they are in their progress. As Dean says, every step you take is a good step. It may take, somebody much longer than somebody else. Somebody may rapidly go through it because they already have a network. But again, we need to each encourage each other to take those steps. And I think, this is our opportunity to do that. That's all I think a big part of the purpose of this group is to mentor and help each other to take those steps, to take every one of these 9 steps and make them happen.
Well, we have 16 people. We had 17, but now we're down to 16. So if everybody does 5 minutes a piece, that gets us close to that hour-and-a-half time period. No. That's to answer the 9 questions. So if everybody's good with that.
Yeah, I think, like I said, just each person just pick one and talk about for just a couple of minutes about what you're doing today to, any one of these 9, as we all try to get through all 9, but just take one.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and go first, and I'll put a 5-minute timer, and let's see where it gets us.
All right.
Do you mind if I say something real quick?
No, Melinda, go.
I was wondering if when people are talking, we could take the agenda down so we can all see each other, because I can only see like 5 people right now. Well,
does the agenda need to be up at all? Does everybody have the agenda to go with?
I know it was sent in our group. Louisa.
Okay. So let's just do that, because that way I can see the chat too in case someone needs something. Oh,
sure.
That's Melinda saying. Okay. Thank you for that. And maybe if everybody could mute also while someone's talking, it would help.
Yep.
So, well, does anybody want to go first? If so, a thumbs up. Okay, Hala.
Hey everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. So yeah, I'm gonna go through some of these topics, and maybe not all of them. So let me know if you hear me well or not. So the first one was, what strategies do you use to keep your mind and body sharp? So on my side, it's very straightforward and easy. It's music. So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is music. If I don't put the music loud, if I don't listen to music I like, if I don't move, I won't say I feel down, but I feel less energy. So, and then I most of the time listen to Tony on the app, the breakthrough app for like 15 minutes, and then I'm ready to go for the whole day. So that's for I would say for the body. For the mind, it's going to be either, as I just said, for Tony Robbins, every day a little bit, or sometimes call a friend or call someone that I know is very positive. So my day starts clearly well. Even if the last day was a bad day, the next day is always a good day. I also have like some, I would say, codes that I keep in my mind is that today is going to be a wonderful day, and whatever hard it's going to be, even if I don't know how I'm going to make it happen, I just know that it's going to happen by the end of the day. So this is pretty much what I do for 4.1. The second one, which is, do you have a role model? I would say it depends on what. On my side, as my field is anti-aging, I decided to be closer, like I would say the closest possible to a doctor who is actually also managing a med school that is specialized in anti-aging in France. And I also try to reach out to other people that he knows through him to learn more, I would say, about the field. Now, with regards to the role model, also to like our KBB project, like how to sell, how to market, I try to identify in the market who are doing pretty much what I do, but in a different way, and who are really successful. Maybe differently from what I'm planning, but at least I know that they have, I mean, I am already attracted to them and I'm already seeing them as successful because I'm already following them and I see the added value that they can bring. So I identified 2 or 3. Sometimes it's a bit hard to always do the right follow-up, but at least I can see what they do, and it inspires me and it saves me time and gives me ideas that I can adapt to my own project. Third one was strategies you use to stay in proximity with others that are step ahead. Well, this is exactly what I just said, so nothing really to add. What's your why? Do you have a business plan? Should we create one? So my why is just I don't want anyone to live what I lived, and I just believe that today we truly all have access to the information is public. We just need to wrap up somewhere and just provide it to people. So this is clearly one of my whys, or my big why. Do you have a business plan? Yes. Do you have an accountability buddy? I see him somewhere. Yeah, that's David. Thank you, David, for being my accountability buddy. And thanks you to KBB and to Louisa for launching this wonderful group, because otherwise I would have had no chance to meet David. And it happened that David had the same passion as me for the anti-aging, so that was perfect. Any routines or models that you use? I just talked about it briefly. How do you stay focused, consistent, and create systems? Okay, I don't create systems. I just put it in my head. I just say if I don't move myself to do something, it's not going to happen. So I'm not going to wait on anybody to tell me what I should do. I'm going to do it. I'm going to probably fail and again do it again and then fail till I find a way. The only thing I know truly in my heart that is going to end up happening if I don't stop trying. What else? So 7, transformational vocabulary and metaphors. This one I'm really bad at it because I'm used to be always trying to be ahead and always to be, I would say, in advance compared to the others and the projects I'm working on, even in my work. But I also struggle by always seeing what might not happen. So I'm trying to, even if I'm somehow a very positive person, I'm trying to kill my inner villain, as Dean says, by saying to myself, don't focus on these things, just, you know, try to move forward. And even if you have bad thoughts, this thing will not work. And I actually see the problems that might happen and try in advance to find the solutions for them. And I end up just being stuck in my mind that at the end of the day, what I wanted to achieve, I did achieve it. So I sometimes give to myself too much burden for nothing. So this is something I still have to work on. Number 8, how can we add value to others and really understand our customers, their pain, goals, desires? Well, honestly, I always wondered how I can answer to this question. And thanks to KBB and to Dean, it actually summarizes in one sentence. It was me 5 to 10 years ago. So I know what were my desires. I know what was my pain. I know what I was struggling with. And it's pretty much exactly what drives me today. So I think I have somehow I can identify the list of targets and people to which I can bring added value truly from my heart. And the last one was, what's your past story has been and how can you change it? This is going to be the next surprise. So I'm not going to say anything today. Thank you.
Thank you. You just hit the 5-minute mark, so that was perfect. Does anybody else want to go next, or Crystal? Go ahead and mute yourself.
Yeah,
And
I'm happy to go next.
I'm going to go ahead and time it. Would you like me to hold up the clock, or how do you want to be notified that, or do you have a timer yourself?
I don't have timer myself, but I will look at the time, so
Okay.
it's fine.
Go ahead. Thanks.
Cool. So, hey everyone. So I will start again from the beginning. What strategies do I use to keep my mind and body sharp? Definitely meditation. Like I already started last year. I've changed slightly what I do, so it's really working for me. You already know, all of you, I'm a big fan of Masako, so I tried a little bit his style. It's been absolutely amazing. I also do a lot of sports and yoga. I recently started to play tennis again because in UK the lockdown has eased. So I try to be outside as much as I can. Like I love water. Can't go to the gym yet and to the swimming pool, but I definitely. I also eat very specific style of food, like very healthy. So that helps me to be physically very high level and mentally very sharp. So a lot of healthy tips for that if you would all love. Do I have a role model? Not yet, in a sense of like who have Richard explained very well. So after when me completing all of my courses is something already I have in my goals. I want to have somebody working very close, either like accountability buddy or somebody who's like a mentor. Already have quick chat with Tony's coaches, or I'm not sure what they're called. So it's definitely on the pipelines, but I definitely want to complete all of the breakthrough app and everything else before then adding another coach, because it just makes more sense in my head to complete all of these programs. What I'm doing is to stay more in proximity with others who are in a step ahead. Is I use more social media. I was not very utilizing to the fullest before. But it's definitely something I'm doing, like different social groups. You guys, it's been really big step forward for me. So that has definitely been just a huge helpful benefit. What's my why? Definitely, obviously, proving myself that is possible. But even if it sounds very naive, it's like I want to help other people as well. I've gone through a lot of different experiences, like injuries and some health problems, which was stemmed from there. So it's just really helping people naturally to get over which other obstacles they may face. But the biggest why for me is like I can be more free. I can travel around the world, and obviously when it's possible, but at the same time also help and support my family. But at the same time, it's also I already have had a small practice of helping people who are just like myself, everyday people, and just by small little changes, they've been able to either get rid of the headaches or simple things like that, which will add a huge value in their life. So definitely helping other people so they don't have to suffer. I do not have accountability buddy at the moment. Do I want 100%? It's very helpful. I have more. It's difficult for me to follow a routine because I get bored easily, but I do love systems. Like for example, meditation, yoga. So I kind of have like flexible systems, like eating well, going to sleep certain times. I try to practice this. So that kind of my system. And in a business wise, I want to pretty much do the same. So I will have more structured hours when I work, etc. And just follow different business plans which other people have like set through. Like next week I will be doing course of just running my business online. So hopefully from there I will adopt new systems which are more beneficial for myself. And number 7, it's definitely I need to work on, because I don't believe I have good enough transformational vocabulary. So it's definitely skills to work on. And again, I would say the next point, how can I add value to others and really understand our customer? I feel like this is something what I will be more, I'm focusing on already, but I have not already set up my company as yet. It's something I'm planning to do in next few weeks. So sorry, not in the next few weeks, less than a month, so 4 weeks time. So that would be more clear for me, understanding my customer, but it's definitely somebody who wants to achieve the results naturally and also enjoyable way. So I don't really believe the methodology like, oh, no pain, no gain. So for me, it's more like life is too short. Why would you suffer? Like I really like we suffer enough. So that would be not my motto. Definitely something, but you can achieve the results enjoyable way, and it's actually fun doing it. Why?
We're at the 5-minute mark, yes. But go ahead and finish up. You're only out, what, one more?
The last bit. What's my spa story been? My bar story before they Unleash the Power reading was definitely like, oh, I don't know enough. Even after the qualifications, I don't know. It was like in my head, even if I'm not really good at it, and so I just really doubted myself a lot. So that I was really telling myself a lot, even if I was succeeding at work or with the qualifications, I always, for some reason, felt like, oh, I need to do more, better, and yeah. So I don't really believe that anymore.
Right.
Cool. Thank you for listening.
Good. Thank you. Anybody else want to go next?
I can go with. No one else is ready, so David.
David, gotcha.
Is it okay?
Yes, please.
Yep.
So what strategies do you use to keep your mind and body sharp? So every morning I've started to do some ritual after UPW, and it means like I first do breathing exercises, then I do a short 15-minute meditation, which I got from a holistic health coach. Then I'm doing like this EcoShoe method, 5-6 exercises in the morning, and then I do some kind of this Kinergy. I signed up for them, and then I do that. So it's like an hour in the morning that I just put to reset myself. And every morning when I get up, I also, before I do this exercise, I ask myself 5 questions, like, okay, what will I be focused on today? So I just ask questions to make sure that I will be focusing all day on the right thing. And then another small thing I'm doing, and I'm just going to show it. It's like I have my phone.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me every hour, beautiful state, smile. It says, and it's just like, you know, even if you are in work and it just, you know, it quickly goes off, it just reminds you, you know, and immediately you feel back like in the beautiful state you put yourself in the morning. And it doesn't take like 2 minutes, it even doesn't take a minute, just to remind us that to keep you up on the high every day. So that's how I keep myself every day quick. Do you have a role model? I have several ones. But yeah, we'll talk to that another time. Strategies you use to stay in proximity with others that are steps ahead. Of course, this group is great because I only signed up at the end of March. So for KBB, it's all of you. For the other certificate, it's definitely Hella, because she is already furthest me in the certificate, so she's helping a lot. What's your why? Do you have a business plan? Yes, I have a business plan, and I know why I'm doing it. So I'm doing it because I want to give back to people. I had a clinical death experience like 18 years ago, and I learned out of a lot of it. And doctor said, you know, I wouldn't make it. There were no more therapies they could do for me, so I had to work a lot of myself, and I developed many techniques. I didn't, before I was procrastinating a lot, because I always said I need to gather all the information, I need to try it out, but I want to prove that it works before I'm going to share it. So now I decided after UPW, okay, it's the right time now to start sharing it. I've waited long now. Now I feel like ready. And if now after 18 years I can tell people techniques and I'm still alive, and doing great. I think I can speak up. So this is just what made me wait for a long time, because I was like, if I'm going to teach something, I should first prove and show myself that that's been working for many years. Do you have an accountability body? Yes, that was previously mentioned. So thank you, Hala. Any routines for models you use? How do you stay focused, consistent, and create systems? That was more or less what I said as my answer to question 1. Transformational vocabulary and metaphors. Any lists? I think the last 10 years, 12 years, with everything I went through, I just started to be aware of whatever I say. And I don't use any negative words in my life. So I just try to avoid them. And I think that is of great help. How can we add values to others and really understand our customer, the pains, goals, desires, etc.? Of course, we should listen to them. And I also think that if you go yourself through many experiences, you know, you can help people who are going through the same experiences. And I think that's a good thing. It's more easy to connect and to share what you are doing. What your past story has been and how can you change it? I think I mentioned it before. Like before, I was only gathering information all the time, waiting to share it. Was not using the knowledge. I was using it only on myself, but I was not sharing it. I was gathering knowledge, activating it, learning it, teaching it myself, but I did not share it yet, and that's what I want to do now. That's why I'm in this course.
Excellent. Great timing too. Thank you so much. Does anybody else want to go next? Janice, thank you.
I'll say I don't want to go next, but I will push myself to go next.
Good for you.
Okay, so number 1, you want me to put a timer, Bridget, or do you?
I've got it. I'll just play it. Thank you.
Okay, so what strategies do you use to keep your mind, body, and trust? Well, I get up at 4:30 every morning, a couple hours before my daughter gets up, so that I can do meditation, personal development, and then I also have a journal from a mentor, Mel Robbins. She's got a 5-second journal that I follow religiously. It keeps me on track. Do I have a role model? Yeah, I have several. I do, obviously we follow a lot of the same people with Tony and Dean, and I follow Mel. One of the role models that I am currently with is, in my field, is a health coach over in California. She is amazing. So I have been reaching out to her. Let's see, strategies you use to stay in proximity with others that are steps ahead. My struggle is understanding the questions sometimes. That's why I'm not far along in KBB, because sometimes with ADD, sometimes it just gets lost. So the strategies you use to stay in proximity with others that are steps ahead, the way I take that to mean is, what are you doing to reach out to those people that are ahead of you so that you can follow, in their steps? Is that what that question means?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be
It's your
proximity not only in this group, but really it's building that network of people that can add value to your goals.
Okay. So that one right now would be my role model that I am currently talking with, and Rebecca, she's farther along in the company than I am, and that's why I'm following her and trying to see how she does things so that I can learn from that. What's your why? Do you have a business plan? My why is I want to create a legacy for my daughter. The company I'm with, when we pass away, everything that we have built up, we can will to our family member. So I love that about my company. Let's see, do I have a business plan? Yes, I do. We did create one before we were required to create one before we started our nutrition club. Do you have an accountability buddy? I thought I did, but I don't. So yes, I do want one, especially for the KBB stuff, because I would love some help with distinguishing some of the questions. Any routines or models you use? How do you stay focused, consistent, and create systems? I think that's part of the number one, I think, is from what I'm understanding, my routines. I, shared earlier what I do in the morning. What I do during the day to stay focused is just remember, and I have these little catchphrases that Mel uses all the time. So if I start to get off focus because of the ADD, then I use some of her little catchphrases throughout the day to stay focused. I'm still working on that. Transformational vocabulary and metaphors. I'm not really sure what that one is. Metaphors, I use a lot of metaphors. And if I understand this correctly, like life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react. I use that one a lot because it does change your whole trajectory of the way you're thinking. I've used that with my daughter. She's 16. We've done this. It's like, okay, well, this is what happened. You can't control that. How can we fix it? And so that's one I use. How can we add value to others and really understand our customers? Like David said, listen first. Try to relate to what their goals are and try to give them like suggestions. But first of all, my biggest thing is listen to them what they want and then try to give them suggestions on how to accomplish that. Let's see. What's your past story has been and how can you change it? My past story is that I'm not smart enough. I started too late. Those are, my past story, I'm assuming are limiting beliefs. How can I change it? Just like Dean says, stop listening to those negative limiting beliefs and have a alternative. I am smart enough. I'm actually very intelligent. I'm not starting too late. I am not too old to learn new things, especially in technology. I am very challenged with the whole, I've gotten to, familiar with Zoom and everything because of COVID, but technology and social media and stuff are one of my things that I am struggling with. So I just, little bit by little bit, tackle. Mel Robbins has this thing that she says, brick by brick, and just do one small thing at a time. So I think that's it. Breathe.
Thank you. Thank you for volunteering.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, does anybody want to go next? We're
Just
14 people now. I'm sorry. Candy, did you raise your hand?
Yeah, but there was someone else, right?
No, I was admitting somebody into the room, so I'm multitasking, so sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead, the floor is yours. Oh,
Candy, you got to unmute yourself.
Sorry.
Very good.
So I was saying that about mind and body. I'm praying. I have I'm reading as well every day. I have some. I'm taking some beverage with like juice. No, lemon and water. And you put also some P vitamin and a little bit of bicarbonate. Sodium. I just don't know the word in English. I'm sorry.
Yes.
This is
Bicarbonate sodium. Got it.
whole body because it make it alkaline. You can also mix ginger and lemon and hot water. So that's good to start the day. I'm walking, I'm running, I'm swimming on the cold water of the lake. Sorry for the noise. Once a week, when it's open, I'm doing sauna and hammam. Once a month, I'm doing water term, the hot water but natural, which is nice for me. And for the second part, so yeah, it was body and okay. For the role model, I don't have role model, so sorry, but along the way and along my journey, I met a lot of people that has been a mentor. And the last one was when I bought a company, and the guy that I take the company from were really a good mentor, really kind, etc. So I know the value of that. And about networking and proximity, I'm new on the social media, so it's always been by speaking with people, and as I am really social, so it can be I am like that sometimes. It can be I am on the restaurant and someone says that my shoes are nice, and we speak like that, and this is a way to connect and to bond really. So smile, it's a good thing. The fourth, do you have a business plan? My why is as Janice about legacy, but as well to own my own destiny and to always be in progress. I don't have a business plan, but I have something clear on mind on what I want to do. So it can be a business plan as well. I have an accountability partner. This is really a thing that is amazing because it's for me it was a way to really see every progress that I'm doing, because I have the bad habit to really take a lot of activities and do it at the same time, and feeling like I'm doing nothing, or this is not important. And doing that every week made me understand that actually I'm doing a lot of things and put a value on that thing that I'm doing. Focus consistency. This is the focus of my year. This year it's all about that. I'm creating more and more framework on my activity. I always I start automatize a lot. So this is a process. About vocabulary and metaphor, I'm more aware of what I'm saying and try to correct every time. The value. How can I value? How can we value? I'm doing it by following all the process that I learned, knowing the customer is by really design your avatar. Then you have to find where is she or is he going, where to find it, and after that you have to really connect on a species level, as know what they think and what their emotion, so you can really speak well. I'm sorry about my English. This is
Don't apologize.
Yeah,
Doing great.
you just keep working at it. And this is why it's important, I think, to do these types of things, because it gets you in practice.
yeah, sure. About my story, my story is quite heavy, and I'm changing it by doing what I'm doing actually, meaning creating something new and going outside my comfort zone.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Kenda. That was awesome.
Okay. Anybody else would like to go next? Melinda, did I see you raise?
I did, but I think Raj did too.
Oh, okay.
All right, you can do.
Go ahead, Raj.
Ladies first. Okay, I'll start it.
I started the timer, Raj. Go ahead.
Okay.
There
What
you
are the strategies to keep my mind and body sharp? So from last 1 month, I'm a very lazy bum. I don't do things at time, to be very honest to the group. But from the last 1 month, I'm taking an uncomfortable action, and I've started getting up at 5 a.m. and I have started some morning rituals, which is 45 minutes of chanting I do in the morning. And then I walk for 30 minutes and I listen to an audio book. Now I'm listening to the Think and Grow Rich audiobook right now, and 5 hours have completed and 5 hours are more to go. Then I do sit for meditation for 30 minutes, and then I have a lot of positive affirmations for myself, which I've learned from Secret and I've learned from many other people. So I have a list of that, and I do 30 minutes of that, and then I go for my breakfast. So it's around 9:30. I am very busy, no time to do anything else, and I have started it, and I am happy about it that I've completed the 31st day today, and I'm really feeling proud of it. I'm never disciplined. I get bored very easily. I don't like to do some routine stuff, but I'm happy doing it, and I want to maintain it for life. Do have a role model. Nowadays, I am thinking of a role model, which is Dean, because I see his video getting up into the gym and going at 5'5" and this and that. So I'm copying him right now, his good habits, so I can learn from him more. Strategies to use to stay in the proximity with others. Step ahead. I don't have that proximity right now. I have some people, but I'm not in touch with them right now. Not so in touch with them. So I'm needing it to find the proximity. If someone can give or share time to me, I would be really grateful to them. From the group also, it's okay for me, because if we can spend time over the call or over a Zoom, we can learn a lot with each other. What is my why and what is my business plan? My why is I have faced a lot of challenging times And now my wife to first is to impact lives, what I've learned, teach other people and impact their lives. And it works for me, it works for everyone. And to have abundance for my family. And I should have a free time learning new things. A business plan, not really a business plan right now. I need to make a course regarding the positive thinking, the power of positive thinking, and how you can grow by just thinking positive, and a lot of things will come together. Do you have an accountability buddy? Right now, I don't have an accountability buddy. But from last few days, Luisa is checking on me. So that way I have a buddy. Like, what are you doing? Did you do something or not? And I'm very happy to have Luisa as a buddy. And I'm also here to help everyone. I love to motivate everyone. When someone writes something, I love to motivate. Yeah, great going, good going, keep it up. So I can be accountability buddy to anyone if someone wants to me. Any routines on models you use? How do you focus? How do you stay focused and create systems? Recently, I started creating systems and I'm being focused at whatever it takes. So I have to take an uncomfortable action and I'm doing it. Transformational vocabulary. Yes, I'm trying to do that and use that. I do a lot of positive words. I do a lot of adjectives, and where I speak only positive words, I don't use negative words. So I'm doing that. How I can add value to others and really understand our customer. I add value to others by speaking only positive. I don't get into a negative zone. If someone is into a negative zone, I help them that don't think negative. It will not give you anything, but positive will still have something for you. So that way I want to impact others. I'm very entertaining. I'm very mischievous. I'm not chat that part of mine right now, but I'm very entertaining. I'm very naughty at 40. So that is where I am entertaining. What do the past story has been and how can you change it? The past story has been very, very, very challenging from last 20 years, and I am changing a lot. I've changed a lot. I started from a scratch right now, and now I'm doing something very good. And I'm really happy that I have a definite purpose in my hand that I want to make people smile, happy, positive, prosperous, and productive. So that's my purpose of life, and which will impact me as well as my people connected to me. So I'm learning from my last experiences where I went wrong and what did I do wrong so I don't do it again. And I'm very fortunate to have this group. Thanks to Luisa. Thanks to everyone that, we are accountability partners for each other. And I'm loving and I'm hoping to complete this very soon and start my own business in the coaching industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Melinda, did you want to go next?
I feel like Janice, do I want to?
Okay.
But I'm going to. So as far as strategies to keep my mind and body sharp, a lot of what all of you have said, starting my day with silence before I open my eyes, listing all the things or people I'm grateful for, just even as simple as that my body can feel my sheets or I can get up and feel the floor under my feet, the water in my shower. Just gratitude is a big one for me every night and every morning. And then what I've been doing, which I'm really happy about in the last month or so, I've incorporated silence, which is difficult for me. I have a lifelong history of always having to have background noise, not being able to handle silence. So that's huge growth for me right now, is being able to start the day in silence. And I have been reading 20 minutes a day. Well, I'll save that for one of the other questions, I think. But yeah, gratitude, silence, meditation. Oh, whenever I see inspirational quotes, I print them out. I have a whole wall. It's just my private wall where I've taped them all up, and it just re-energizes me to just read the quotes, see the pictures, know that I'm enough, and keep my mind focused that way. Do I have a role model? I mean, my role models are like Oprah, Tony, Jamie Kermina, Dean. As far as like role model in my industry, I don't. I'm trying to find a role model of maybe a woman who knows how to delegate, manage time, lead people. That kind of role model, I think, is what I need, because I'm the doer and I need to learn how to let go and delegate and trust that it'll get done if it's not me. Strategies to stay in proximity. I mean, it's things like this. Pre-COVID, it would be going to workshops or events and meeting other people of like mind. Now it's like this. I don't have any physical proximity to others on this same journey. It's all through courses or social medias or groups like Louisa put together. And also, like Brendan Burchard has started Growth Day in 2021. That's a great group of people to be in proximity with, because he's gathered a lot of great teachers like Mel Robbins and David Bach and all of, you know, and so you just have access all year long, every month, every week. So that's been huge for me. My why, I mean, my why has always been my kids. I've had to shift that so that it's not just about my kids. That has been my why for everything I've done. Getting up in the morning has been because of my kids. But my like deep why is to be a voice for the voiceless, to end systemic abuse of kids with special needs. So my why is to change the world in special education. Which is why I'm doing this course, because it's all been one family at a time, one child at a time. So I want to figure out how to do a course to get my message to more people than I can do just one at a time. I hope that makes sense. Yep. Did I just run out of time? Yep. And then I don't have a business plan. I just put one foot in front of the other. I don't have an accountability buddy, and yes, I would like to be held accountable, because the one thing that I don't do consistently is exercise, because I always put my to-do list first. Routines and models that I use. So there's a model, a strategy in the Miracle Morning for entrepreneurs, and there's an acronym called SAVERS. So it's silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing, like journaling. And that so that's a great thing to just kind of keep in mind. Get out of bed, brush your teeth. It kind of makes you not crawl back in bed if you brush your teeth when you first get up, splash some water on your face, drink water. So that's some of the the models or routines I've been trying to put into place. Oh, I just did something. Transformational vocabulary. I just used the word try, and I am been working this past year to take that word out of my vocabulary. I am not going to try, I'm going to do. I am not buried in work. I helped a lot of people. I'm trying to switch those things like I'm overwhelmed or I'm underwater to take that out of my vocabulary. And I'm working on that. But as far as metaphors, yeah, I raised my kids with what you focus on grows. Like what you shed light on is going to grow. If you shed light on the things you're worried about, they're going to grow. If you put your focus and your energy and your light on the positives, that's what's going to grow in your life. That's my feeling. There's also another metaphor I learned in 2020, which is swim in the clear water. I've always been a swimmer, and I think Richard, I think you're like a big old swimmer from the post you were putting in the chat. But I loved this metaphor. It just resonated with my soul to get out of the murky water and swim in the clear water. And so that's one that I learned in 2020 that I really resonate with as far as a metaphor. Adding value to others, that I already do. Because I started the journey with my daughter, there was no path, and I created the path, and that gave me my life's purpose. Is I never wanted another family to be alone. So I know I add value, and I understand the customer, that part. What I need to get rid of in my past story is that I'm not worthy or I'm not good enough. to put myself out there. Like I'll help families, but this is the next big step, is to put a course out there, to write my book that's been in my head forever. That's the stuff that I've always felt like, even when I was in parent support groups when my daughter was young, I would look around and say like, they're all real parents and I'm playing house. Like I'm not a real mom, or just that. I became strong to fight for my daughter, and then I became strong for myself. But that's the thing I have to change, is
Sounds great.
that I'm good enough.
Beautiful story. And I forgot to put the timer in, so sorry, but.
Oh, I'm sorry. I kept going like, I gotta be out of time. I'm sorry.
Sorry. That was great though. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Melinda, thank you for the phrase "swimming in clear waters." I love it. I love swimming. I love water, so I love clear too. That's perfect. Thank you.
Melinda, you are good enough.
Your turn.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I'm like, whew, I just did that.
Every step.
Celebrate yourself, because that was awesome.
Yeah, you were amazing.
So Luisa, I think it's either your turn or Bridget. So I think since Bridget's moderating, I think it's your turn.
Yes, absolutely. I'm not sure if everyone passed though. I think there's few that haven't passed yet. I might be
I
wrong.
think
All right.
Bonita just raised her hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, great. I
Go ahead,
guess I
yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
see- I'm looking through, scrolling through.
I can see it as well. Bonita has raised their hand, but now this
Okay.
has disappeared on my screen.
Bonita, unmute yourself.
Here, we'll go full. I don't see her on.
Yeah,
I'm here.
good.
Let's see. Let's see.
Oh, there you are. Okay, okay. Gotcha.
There you are. Great.
All right.
Thank you.
I found some more buttons.
And I'm gonna push the timer now.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. Well, I got into this in an odd kind of way. I was a high school teacher for 25 years, and then I was in a career-ending car accident. I ended up with a brain injury, couldn't walk or talk. And so I've been fighting my way back now for about 6.5 years. As you can tell, the speech is good now, but it's been a fight. So I was signing up for all kinds of different training courses, whatever I could get my hands on to challenge my brain and fix myself, because I had gone as far as the doctors said I could. So I signed up for KBB and forgot all about it. I took a glance at it and said, okay, this is beyond what I can manage, and then forgot about it. And now I have rediscovered it. And I thought, yeah, you know what? I think I'm at the point in my recovery that now I can manage it. So like I said, I was a high school teacher for 25 years, chronic overachiever, and then lived on my couch for a few years. So the world has changed a little bit, but I ended up falling into a job, I guess, thanks to my friends, because I'm a Reiki practitioner now, much calmer, quieter style of work. And I really enjoy it. And as far as like adding value and things like that, I'm open to suggestions, anything else I can be doing, but it seems to be going well. I mean, I'm busy enough. I don't really need any more. I'm doing this as a way to challenge my brain and expand my horizons, because I can only really work with one person at a time. And I'd like to find a way to help more people. I'm kind of all over the place here. I don't have an accountability buddy yet. As far as keeping mind and body sharp, I spend a lot of time each day working through all the therapies and things like that I do for the brain injury. I set aside time during the day for check-ins. I listen to audiobooks. I do lots of webinars. I'm in Ontario, where we have the most draconian lockdown stuff you can imagine. So we're basically confined to our homes now for another month. So everything is done on the internet. I use meditation, singing bowls. I found an app called Google Keep, where I have my list of all of my activities throughout the day, like make sure I do my gratitude journal, and I learn something every day, that kind of thing. And I can just, do the little checklists. And then at the end of the day, I can say, hey, I managed 13 out of the 23 things on my list today. So that's pretty good. Let's see. My business is comfortable right now. I'm busy enough, but like I said, I want to expand my horizons a bit. Let's see. I did recently get involved in another business opportunity, and I need to really boost my skills for that. So even if my own business keeps going at the same rate, I'm cool with that. But I'd like to hone my skills a little bit more as to how I can, I guess, be more business-like with this other opportunity that has presented itself. I am eternally positive. Bad days happen, but there's always something good there. And one of my biggest problems as far as my own business goes is I've always had a hard time charging money. And especially when it's friends that are your customers. So I'm getting past that. So that's been one of my challenges, because it wasn't my plan to get into business. It just sort of happened that way. And let's see, what else have I got here? I guess that's about it. I'm, just trying to be as quick as I can to get through, but hopefully that's, a little bit of me.
You have a minute and 15 seconds if you want to take it.
Oh, no, that's okay. That's all right. Because I know that we're going to go long, so it's all good.
Okay, thank you, Benita.
Can I just share something happening in my world right now? There's a helicopter circling, telling everyone to lock their doors because they're chasing a criminal who's hiding in the neighborhood. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm going crazy here.
We'll protect you.
We're good. It's just, oh, my son just said, shh. Sorry, keep going. I'm just going a little crazy right now.
Okay, let's see. Did Allison or Janelle go? I'm not able to answer the Facebook.
I didn't
go. Sorry, hold on a second. I'm not able to answer the Facebook. They don't have, can somebody else reply to them as far as the link?
They may need to download the app. Yeah, I'll take it.
Thank you. Okay, Janelle?
Hi, guys.
That right?
Yep.
Okay.
I was gardening, sorry. I've been loving listening to all of you guys. Thank you guys so much for sharing, everyone. My name's Janelle. I am an energy worker. Most of my business, how do I explain myself? Isn't that always the question? My journey's been really long. I started in network marketing about 10 years ago. But I kind of figured out very quickly that that wasn't necessarily where my passion lied. So I am passionate extremely now about helping women solve their hormonal issues so that they can get their life back on track. I suffered from PCOS, which has a lot of physical and mental ailments that go alongside with it, as well as, a fertility journey. And I know that there are so many people struggling with fertility right now in the world and the mindset that goes with that. So I have a passion for helping people get through that journey and have the happy babies that they want to have. I was told that I'd never have kids, and now I have 4 of them. So it makes me super, super light up when I can help somebody else get through the issues and the self-shame and the stuff that goes on when your body's not working the way that you want it to, and when your mind's not working the way you want it to, because when our bodies aren't healthy, our mind's not healthy, and then nothing lines up along the way. So that is kind of my passion. Sorry, I'm out in the sunshine, so I can't really see you guys. There we go. I would love an accountability buddy. I have multiple businesses, so this is my passion project. But I know that this is a medicine that I've had on my heart for a long time, and I know that I deserve to be paid abundantly well for it. And I'm ready to switch from passionate friend helping people to an actual coach that gets people to take inspired action. Because since joining KBB, I've been able to lay out a business plan. I've been able to kind of put in motion the courses that I would love to teach people. So it's been a huge dose of clarity in what steps to take next in building courses. I did not come prepared with all of the questions as you guys did. Sorry.
You're doing great.
What else?
Routines or models you use?
Oh, routines. I am a mom of 4 and all of my children are under 8 years old. So that has been something that I used to struggle a lot with because everybody wants you to follow a certain, you know, I a lot in the coaching world and in the industry, people tell you to write a schedule, write a this, write a that. And that has never worked for me and it's never resonated with my soul. A very free spirit. I do not like to do the same things every day. So for me, routine was a struggle at first. But I've noticed now that if I can keep my routine just short and simple and something that I can do with my children, it makes it a lot easier to navigate because as soon as my feet hit the floor, my kids are up with me. So no matter how early I get up. So I incorporate them with me. We do yoga and stretching first thing in the morning. We do gratitude, just 3 things that we're grateful for. And we try and plan out 3 things that we want to accomplish in our day as a family. So I think that when I include my kids in with my journey and what I want to do and what our vision is, we get so much more accomplished rather than me trying to lead the helm and not include them, even them being so little. So that is my huge piece of advice if you are doing this with kids or with a spouse is include them in your journey. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy right here. Morning, baby. See if I can get them. I have chihuahuas and they are talking to the chihuahua next door.
Oh.
Let me remove myself from them. Okay. So yeah, that is me in a nutshell. I love accountability. I love to be somebody's cheerleader. I've been talking with Louisa about getting groups set up. I've done lots and lots of masterminds. I've been in this work for probably about 15 years in the mindset field. So I am ready to share my knowledge and help everybody really amplify what's inside them so that we can all succeed and put our business out there in the world because this world needs some healing right now. And we've been through it. We've been through the darkness and it's time for us to share our light so that other people can heal too, because it's time.
Bravo. And your minute or your 5 minutes is completed now. Thank you.
All right.
Let's see. We have Jorge and Allison. Sorry, Allison, let's go.
Want me to go? Okay.
Yeah, you're on. Okay. Timer's on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, my phone is beeping. Okay, so what strategies do you use to keep your mind and body sharp? So I have attention issues, external and internal. So I do get into a good, I do get into meditation and do things like that, but it's not consistent. And I have been consistent in the past. So I'm trying to re-implement that. Body wise, it's a huge goal of mine. I've had several car accidents, and they've limited me from doing the things that I really want to do. So I am implementing things to achieve more freedom with my body. Do you have a role model? I don't. I'm a little confused on my role models when it comes to my actual career, because it's a little bit of a dual. I'm a nutritionist and I'm a health coach, and they're 2 different modalities, even though they seem the same. So sometimes I get a little confused, but what I'm planning on doing is hiring a coach because, and if anyone has any suggestions later in our groups, you know, is that I find that if I reach out to a health coach or a nutritionist, I think they think I'm competition or something. So I haven't been able to find that. Strategies you use to stay in proximity with others. I do a lot of personal development, and I am, you know, joined up with groups that are nutrition and health coaching and all that kind of stuff. What is your why, and do you have a business plan? My why is to help people struggling through gut and digestive issues, especially gluten free living and things like that. And do I have a business plan? I have done a business plan, but I need to redo it, because when I did that business plan, I wasn't as enlightened as I am now as to how I would structure things. So I need to improve that. Do I have an accountability buddy? No, but do I want one? Yes. I love accountability partners. Throughout my journey, whenever I've been in a course and I've been assigned accountability partners, those accountability partners didn't really want to be an accountability partner. So I do thrive when I have an accountability partner. And in this journey of KBB, I definitely would love one. Or, you know, if someone wants to kind of share somebody. Any routines or models you use, or how do you stay focused? Well, what I've been doing, and I've really been doing a great job, is really I've been diving really deep and answering some really deep questions. I do Tony, I've done, I've been crew, I've done everything in that regard, but I really went deep. And so I'm making progress. And also I've been organizing myself, because I think that's my biggest obstacle is organization. When something pops up, I can't resolve it quickly. It's a very long journey and it takes me from what I really want to do. And I'm feeling very hopeful. And I think that's what motivates me every day. I'm bad with my morning routine lately. And that's another thing I want to get back on. Transformational vocabulary. I have lots of quotes and things like that. And I'm currently creating a battle board, which is a Brendan Bouchard thing. And I've kind of organized my space that I can do that. And I love quotes. They're like my favorite things ever. And also trying to change words like try or can't or don't, those kind of things. How can we add value to others and understand their customers? So I've done a lot of work around that, trying to understand my customers and also myself, because it's kind of, in some parts, it's one and the same. And I've done a lot of work on creating specific coaching skills and studying for my national boards. I'm doing that too. So what's your past story? My past story, I think that I was very insecure. I still am in certain categories, and I allow fear to really hold me back. So now I just step out of my comfort zone as often as possible, and I try not to think about it. And if I am, I do Mel Robbins 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do. Just do it. Sometimes I don't even make it to one. I just start doing. And I don't think about it. I just do it. And then sometimes it answers a lot of questions. So that's my story.
Yeah, you got 15 seconds left. Can you elaborate on that method? Because I haven't heard of it.
Mel Robbins has a thing that it's like trying to get out of bed in the morning, your alarm goes off, or you just wake up, and sometimes you'll lay there for a long time. She says, instead of laying there or contemplating things, just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And on one, you just start moving or doing. And it's really, you can't stop yourself because you had no time to think about it. So
got it. Thank
Mel
you.
Robbins is great for that. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
Anybody else would like to volunteer?
Well, in terms of mentor that Allison, you were looking for, I would suggest you take a look at Andrea Nakayama and her group. She has a phenomenal team, functional nutritionists, and really looking at health in a more, obviously functional nutrition is a significant part of the whole health journey, but she gets into the full array from physical health to functional nutrition, and really merges all of those, including sleep and other categories. I suggested the podcast on our group earlier, the 15minutematrix.com, and she just interviews some of the best people in the industry in all of those categories, everything from, poop analysis to foods you want to eat, to sleep and other categories, to really understand the full spectrum, because everything about us is part of a human being, and too often you get specialists and they don't think about the other components of the body, whether it's a system or the food they eat or the teeth, right? All of them affect all the other systems within a human being. And those kinds of things really have to be looked at it as an integral part of ourselves. including our psychology and our mental state, affects significantly our health. So all of those components really need to be looked at. And I would highly recommend her as a resource, and her team. She's got a phenomenal team that supports her in their process.
Yeah, I think I may. Her name sounds familiar, and I think I'm thinking of the institute. Like, I think I do get her emails, and I have watched some of her stuff. I'm not good with names. Sometimes I'm good with faces and information, but I think I do follow her. And if not, I will follow her. I do follow a lot of that kind of stuff because that is how I think. I think, you know, like I'm very much aware of like the components of how stress and everything, you know, if you have certain components that you're not fixing, it doesn't matter about the nutrition, you know what I mean? Like your stress is out of the, you know, off the planet, you know? So I really appreciate that. Thanks so much.
No problem.
Okay, any more volunteers that want to go?
I can go, but I think there's also George and Tatiana. So I don't know if you wanted to go now.
Yes, there is.
So
I can go, but I don't know where to go since I just joined, so I have no idea.
You're
First
on.
of all, hello to some of the known faces like Lisa and Hala and David and Richard.
George, we're answering the questions that they sent in the group, the agenda. There's 9 questions. Did you get that?
No, I didn't, because I was on a mobile device and I had no connection on my mobile device. So I just looked at, but I'm prepared to riff it, you know, and make a fool out of myself. So if you just tell me the question and I take 1 minute.
Or if you would like, I can quickly, I took a screenshot. I can quickly post it in a group.
Yeah, but I cannot memorize an answer all night. So if you give me one,
we'll walk you
or just put it.
Read it out.
Otherwise, you go ahead and I look at them, whatever you want.
Yeah. If you here's the first question. First question is what you're doing to keep your mind and your body sharp.
I have a day closing, day starting process, which is pretty rigid and pretty regimented in terms of my meditation. Meditation is less, but I have an end of the day planning for the following day, end of the day reading about, mainly about Buddhism, something that's going to put me at ease. And I start the day with my mindset, my gratitude, and my objective for the day. So I summarize it now very quick, but and it ends the beginning of the day. The startup ends with reading. So half an hour reading, no phone, no internet, no nothing. And only when I finish that process, I launch my day. So I set myself up first.
Great. Now, the next one is, do you have a role model? And we're not talking about Tony or Dean. We're talking about somebody that you interact with.
I do have a number of them.
Right.
Just to give you the background, I don't have one role model because I don't think there's one person that embodies all the things that I admire. And they're always we all have downsides. We all have shortcomings. So I like to pick and choose the cherries and all the cakes that I see, and I pick up the best things of different people. So just to make it short, my role model is Elon LeBron Federer. I think that Elon has a lot of things, good things and bad things, things that people hate of him, but things I admire about him. LeBron has a number of amazing things he does in terms of the generosity he has, but also his discipline, his training, his hard work, his method. And Federer is also in terms of how gentle he is, how disciplined he is, what a nice person he is. So this is who I follow, basically.
Okay. Now, do you interact with them personally?
No, I don't. I regularly read about them and read what they do and follow what they do to get inspiration.
I think the intent, though, is to truly build that network of people that you can have in your proximity that you.
Well, I do have 2 of them, but they are, yeah.
Those are the critical ones that I think that they're referring to in this session.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And talk to. And
well, I do. I spent an hour with one of them today because we complement each other a lot, and I get a lot of feedback. But for instance, I asked today, I said, well, he's known me for a long time. And I said, how do you see my positive attitude evolving over the last 6 months? Because I've seen that I've been going sometimes to dark places I shouldn't be. And I wanted to hear him telling me how he saw it. So, Yes, he is much younger than me. Well, almost everybody is at this stage. He is an extremely versatile and wide-faced manager in all areas. He's a fantastic husband, a great dad, a great son. I mean, he's a role model in many, many ways. So he's one of them. The other one is, I have two of them. The other one is further away. I interact with him on the phone almost daily. The downside is he knows me extremely well. So he picks up immediately my vibes. When something is not right, he just comes down like a ton of bricks on me, which is great. It's very helpful because he's the one, you know, is like a guardrail for me. So yes, I do have these two people.
Okay, and then what's your why? And then do you have a business plan to implement that?
Yeah, I do have a business plan. Which version you want? I mean, my business plan is very, very dynamic, and it keeps shifting and changing and evolving as I go, because I have two major business plans. One is for the immediate activities I'm doing now, which is giving back, serving back. I've been benefiting from the business community and society for many, many, many years in grandiose ways. It's time for me to give back, and to give back at different levels that I've received. I've been coaching senior executives and personalities, sports people, Formula One drivers, sports people, members of the royal families, all kinds of high-level individuals, high-value individuals. But now I want to be able to give back to the center of management, which is the part that needs it most. Middle management, which is where the need is the greatest. So what I'm doing now is I'm preparing the courses I'm going to be offering to managers. So my avatars are male, female executives, 35 to 55, and depending on the topic in different type of industries.
Right.
We are at time, but if you want to continue up to the group.
No, up to you. Up to you. I mean, I was not controlling. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just trying to keep us on time. It's
Of
hard.
course. No, why don't you keep me for the end after everybody else is gone? If there's time left, I can go back.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you,
So-
Richard. Appreciate it.
No problem. So
So next,
Tatiana?
where is Tatiana? There she is.
Hi, I was just literally, I'm so sorry. Hi, everyone. I'm a little late. I got confused with my timing zone. So I thought it was at 6 o'clock and then 5 o'clock in the evening. And also only now I'm looking at the questions, unfortunately. So I'm going to be a little bit all over the place with because I'm not prepared. So I'm going to do a little bit like George. So let me see. The first question, what strategies do I use to keep my mind and body sharp? Well, I used to be a night person. I used to be able to stay up all night and never being a morning person throughout all my life, regardless of all the morning jobs that I had starting early, never managed to be able to do. 6 months ago, I felt that my adrenal glands were slightly worn out. So I decided consciously to change my routine to a morning routine. So for 6 months, I have been waking up really early and having my morning routine before my children wake up. So generally for 6 months, what I tend to do is I do journaling. Well, I start with the meditation or priming, as long as depending how much time I have. So I make it short or long. Then I do journaling. Then I do a little bit, any form of exercise. Then I have a shower and I have a cold shower at the end. And sometimes if I have lots of time, once a week, I do a cold bath. So that is my daily morning routine to keep my mind and my body in shape. So if I only have half an hour, I try to do all that in half an hour, because I believe 5 minutes each is better than nothing. And it's just it gives me that mental thing that I did it regardless. If I have an hour, then I indulge myself in an hour's morning routine. So that is my morning routine. Need to unlock my phone to see the next question. Do I have a role model? Yes, I do. But I just listen to George. I don't have anyone that I interact with. So maybe that doesn't count too. Yes, and strategies to use to stay in proximity. I don't have any. So I don't have anyone within my proximity. I do not interact with anyone, and I don't have any strategies. I listen to the module, And I'm kind of strategizing or thinking about creating or finding people that I can including in my life or interact. But I need to, at the moment, everything seems too far away from me and very alien to me. I do not, I need to find those type of people. At the moment, I don't have anyone.
I would reach out to, before you finish the session, in terms of the overall, I think focus on that one, because I think that's an important component to this, setting the mindset and getting those additional minds into your life to help you move the needle for yourself.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I do follow people on social media and I do listen to people, but always in that sort of barrier wall in between. So, my life was being very inconsistent and very troubling. So that didn't help as well. And so only now I'm kind of putting my feet on the ground and kind of finding myself and sorting myself out. And it's why now I'm kind of, more focused and sort of feeling that that's important. But up to recently, I was kind of hiding away from the world, so to speak. So, and I was very, yes, that was a strategy that I used in order to for protection and to be as hidden as possible to feel safe. But now I'm sort of over that obstacle. So I'm kind of, only now I'm starting to get ready to interact with the world, basically. But David, thank you. Richard, thank you so much. And yes, I think you're absolutely right. Number 4, why? Business plan. Okay, I do not have any business plan, and that made me realize I should have one. I'm sort of going all over, like floating around a little bit because I'm doing like a 360 turn in my life, and I always decided everything very logical, very rational, everything planned to the detail since I'm a child, what I was going to do, how I'm going to do, where I'm going to live, when I'm going to have a children, with what age, how many children, so everything has been sort of that control. And there was some events in my life that threw the whole thing in the air. And then I found myself in this deep hole. Only now, that made me kind of give up from everything that I've done so far and just follow my heart. And it's an alien path. And so I am trying, so everything is new at the moment. So I do not have a business plan, but my why is basically, I realized that I want something bigger than me. And I have came, throughout my, I've been in coma for months and I've been very ill and so many tragedies like many other people. And that gave me the wake up call that I needed to follow my heart and start living what I've been here to live and to do. So I'm kind of new in everything. So I'm just gave up on my, lifetime career to pursue my dreams and my passions, even though I have no clue how I'm going to do it. So that is why I sort of all over the place with my life and what I need to do business-wise. Accountability body. I did have, not professionally, but lifestyle too, until recently, but they kind of disappear. But I think
we're here for you.
Yes,
and
I know
that you're good enough to be you and just be your authentic self, which you are, and recognize that fact, because I think everybody here recognizes how genuine you are, and we want to help. So we're here. So don't worry about that part.
Yes.
Just move on to focus on all the things that you need to do to get where you want to get to.
I guess I was too eager and I scared people away. And I get scared, like, whoa, this is
great
too
energy.
much.
Don't worry about it. Just keep going.
So next question, and number 6, where I have a routine or models, any routines or models I use. Do I have to stay focused, consistent, and create systems? Well, I do not really have any routines to share or anything, sort of speak, but I am really working myself very hard to be focused, consistent with my heart, because I always have this battle between my mind, that's right, but what I feel like. So I think I have prioritized myself for the first time. And so I'm, I've always been trying to work on people and change the environment and external factors. And now for the first time ever, even with my husband, I'm kind of just working on me, and that's been my focus. And apart from that focus, consistency is just on me, basically, nothing else. No models to share or routines. Number 7, transformational vocabulary or metaphors. Wow, I just came up with a list today because I was really wanting to attend this meeting basically, and then I hadn't done module 1 until this morning. So I was like, how am I going to do it? I can't attend without making. So I wake up like 4 o'clock in the morning, and literally from 4 o'clock in the morning, like 6 hours straight, trying to do so I could sit here with you. So that's when I came across to the powerful concept of the vocabulary we use. And I did realize that, yes, I do use blaming. I do blame too much on my external factors. And then I have came up with the alternatives, which I am really eager to practice on my most challenging subject, which is my husband. So I'll see how that goes. That is like a work in progress, which I think is going to take years, but I think it's worth the fight. Number 8, how can we add value to others and really understand our customer? Okay, that for me, I define my avatar customer or client or anyone, because I just travel back 5 years where I was 5 years ago, and I realized where I was and how I felt. And to me, I just want to reach that person, whoever that person is. I just want to reach that person and be that person to help to travel, within a few months or weeks, other than 5 years it took me. So it's basically myself 5 years ago. It's the person that I want to reach. I know it's a very niche, but that's where I want to start with, because that is what I feel passionate about, and that's what I feel myself, and that's what I feel like I can add value, genuinely value. Otherwise, I feel like I have this imposter thing that I'm trying, to do something that I might not have enough experience or knowledge. And that is another thing that I'm sort of battling, because obviously I'm jumping into a different field, profession, and I have that syndrome because I don't feel like I have enough qualifications, or I only have experience. And so I'm kind of ready to maybe the summer enroll for some courses to give them that peace of mind of qualifications, because I think sort of that helps people as well. So last one, I'm sorry, I'm dragging a little bit myself here.
You're good.
How can I add value? What your past story has been? Oh my God, you don't want that. How can you change it? Yeah, just get a cup of coffee and going to be all night and some tissues, but no, let's not go to that. What's my past story? My past story in terms of, can you just tell me, kind of direct me in terms of what? My past story in terms of professionally or personally, or?
Well, what is it that you're looking to change in others? So how are you taking your story and you leveraging that to bring help to your customer? Okay, so my past story, basically, I was very ill. I was alone. I was in a country without family, friends. My husband was slightly without support from my husband as well. And I found myself trying everything, being ill for a few years. And then sadly, I came to a concept that I wanted to try and start with nutrition first. And then I started to get better. That fueled me the need to pursue, to research, and to look into more of that. And I, as a mom, alone, and and sort of depressed, I did my rediscovery. I rediscovered my health, and I pursued that journey until I feel like for me, it was rediscovering a new world. So many truths that I find out on my journey that I feel like that if I knew them, perhaps I wouldn't have led me the path of life that it led me. So, but to start with, I'm kind of involved for a course to start in summer, which is basically it's sort of integrity of, how can I pronounce that? Integrity of nutrition, but it's not health, so no nutrition. But I literally, there's so many modalities that I had to work with, and I have that it's difficult for me. Oh gosh, I think I have to work on this, Richard. I had to rewrite my story. That's all right. This is why this is why we go through these, is to help us remember the story and
Yes.
build on it so that we can help others through that transformation and that documentation of what it is that is almost part of that is part of your why, right? It's
Yes.
taking your past experience and being able to transform that into a usable tool for others and be able to write those pieces of your story that impacted you in how you got through that journey, and those things that you discovered along the way, document them, put them
Okay.
in as components that you're going to use as your toolbox to help others.
Okay, so basically, and then I can understand the question better now. Basically, I was very ill. I had autoimmune diseases. I had cancer. I had an accident, and I was paralyzed. And I used it all. You know, I tried everything, and nothing worked. I was getting worse and worse until I went on my own, and I found all these different things that I did to myself, and I became better again. You know, in every single aspect that I just mentioned. That became my passion, because that I had to break certain condition beliefs that I had, make new rediscoveries about health, nutrition, life, mindset, and the mind power, mental power, you know, everything else, you know, the influence of our environment, family, and everything else. So all that made me feel like so passionate about sharing with others. So I started helping people, and and then that's helping people, friends, strangers, anything that I'll see, you know, I just want to help them. But helping in a way that it's their rediscovery. It's not me teaching them. It's not me imposing my will. So, and that is basically kind of my story. It's just my journey, my recovery journey to what I am today is what I'd like to share with people, and also the people that are in a similar position to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. They can also do, and there is, you know, there's many ways. There's not just one way, and also to find the inner voice, inner power, you know, and listen to themselves and have that belief. Because sometimes we just so much like looking at authority as the ultimate, you know, answer for things, and basically just regain your own power and do what's best for each individual.
Great. But now you just have to listen to the tape that Bridget's going to give you of you speaking, so that you can start writing these things down and documenting the way that you're going to organize your business plan and your course and the way that you operate as a business.
Perfect. Wow, I think I'm finished. I think I'm finished, right?
Yes.
Bridget, I did like 10 minutes or something.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good.
Perfect.
All right, so I think I'll go next. I believe Hamid wants to come in. I don't know if he's tried to come in.
I haven't seen him. I've been looking.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks. So he might show up any minute, I guess. So I'll go next. So I'm super happy to hear everyone. Honestly, I took so many notes, so I'll be able to share these notes as well. So my turn here. So question number one, what strategies do you use to keep your mind and body sharp? So I have this system, it's called BUILD. So it's an acronym. So the B, it's really about physical strength. So I do little exercises in the morning, weight training, and I try to do a bit of jogging or walking. U is to do something for myself. So usually it's meditation. I started priming exercise, and I'm telling everyone about it. Every time I do it, I cry. It's really deep, and I believe it has this incredible power. And it's from Tony Robbins. The I, it's about high income activity. So what do I do that actually brings me closer to my ultimate goal? Because we can be so busy, and at work, especially, I hear people, oh, I'm busy, but it's like, are you really getting towards your goals? So being busy is one thing, but really doing the right activity, I think is the best thing. So that's what I'm trying to do now. The L is for love and relationships. So it's like, did I deepen any relationship? Did I create any relationship? Am I in proximity with anyone? Am I helping others? Are others helping me? Am I just building? So it's all about relationship. Every day I try to build those relationships. And the D is about development. So am I developing? Am I learning? And it's not just learning, but am I applying it? So it links back to the income activity. And I started having this journal, and every day I write the build in the morning. And then at night I evaluate myself. And the goal is not to have 5 on 5 on everything, but really to analyze what I've done and get better the next following day, and just keep building on it. And it pushes me to really focus on what needs to get done. For role models, I think in terms of role models, I have a lot of people over the year that I subscribe to their courses. And what I'm doing now, it's really learning about what they're doing, how they're doing it, and getting to know them more. In terms of proximity, one new tool that I started using is Clubhouse. Clubhouse is extremely addictive, so all week I was not on it. However, when I was on it, I realized that I've been connecting with people that I otherwise would have never met. A lot of millionaires that are just knowing who I am now. And, you know, they're way steps ahead of me. And what's interesting, as I'm doing this exercise, I realized that all week I didn't go because now they know me. And as soon as I get in the room, they put me on stage and I don't talk because I don't feel ready. So now my goal is to really start showing up and being ready and going on stage and building those relationships with them. My why is very deep, so I don't think I'll go on it now, but it's there. Do I have a business plan? It made me realize I don't have one. So I have a lot of plans, but I don't think I created like the plan. So I'm gonna work on that. And what's interesting is throughout the year, I had a lot of different plans and it feels like a failure because none of them really finished through. However, I'm really realizing now that they're all coming through together. So stay tuned because it's just incredible how sometimes we just think it's a flaw, but it's actually to become even better later on. So I just see everything coming together now. Do I have an accountability buddy? I honestly think you all are my accountable buddy. As it was mentioned before by Tatiana, I feel the same way, like knowing that I'm going to be here with you guys. I want to be prepared. I want to make sure I do it. So I did it. And I do have other accountability buddies from Brendan Bouchard's as well. There's someone who reached out to me to be my buddy. And every time I meet with her every week, I realize, oh shit, I did progress a lot this week. So even though I write it myself, just telling her all the stuff I've done, it kind of makes me realize because I'm very hard with myself. So I do appreciate that. And I do am looking for other accountable buddies. So that's for that. For routines and models I use, I have the build model that I mentioned before. Also, what I had started not long ago throughout the year was I wanted this website called 7-Minute Skills where I help myself, but other people how to build skills quickly. I'm all about learning and just doing an action taker. So that's going to come soon as well, like 7-minute skills. And I think it could be beneficial to all of us. And maybe we can just like even populate it together. There's inspiration.club. So I bought that domain. It's part of the Clubhouse that I want to do it. But at the same time, I want to create a website with inspiration and in there building skills and helping us and everyone like just move along towards their goals. Transformational vocabulary and metaphors. I don't think I use many metaphors that are negative, but last year I must say I was in a really dark place in the last 2 years at least. So for sure my internal dialogue was totally different, and it's interesting to see how we can just switch the, you know, like things were great and suddenly I was living in fear. I've been living in fear for the past 2 years until last, I would say Friday. Things started changing last Friday as I faced my biggest fear, and I stay tuned on that as well. And for transformational vocabulary, I'm very strong on NLP. I'm taking certification on that. So I would love to share. I'm also very strong on copywriting, how we write, what we write. So that's going to come very powerful when we get into the marketing part. How do I add value to others? I'm still working on that, but my goal is really to give value. Past story, I guess stay tuned for that as well. But one that has been very prominent is I need to know more, I need to do more, I need to always be more, which is good. But at one point it's like, just do it, you know, like it's good enough. And I think this is an experiment that I'm doing now, and I'm very happy to see where it's going. And I'm happy to put everyone together and just like, we're going with it. We're improvising. It's not perfect, but we're making it like super great. So thank you very much for this. So that's it for me.
Great.
Well, thank you very much. And
thank you.
We're looking forward to the story.
Before I go,
I think
Ramon,
Ramon just joined.
yes, he's on the phone. I didn't see myself, so.
Okay, that's annoying.
All right. You don't need to see me, I guess. Okay. Number one, I learned this with Joseph McClellan, to smile right before I even open my eyes. I smile because that endorphins start, all the good serotonin, everything starts before I even open my eyes. And then I do a routine with my Jinshin Jitsu, and it's just holding my fingers in certain parts of my body. That's for my body and mind. I do breath work, yoga, I'm out in nature, I meditate. I really enjoy the Master Ko meditations, and I try to listen to him regularly. I'm gearing up for this big Wasak festival, the full moon. I believe in the energies and everything that David and Jorge has said. So I do a lot of me time. And from what everybody already said, being an empath, you are affected. I got that Hashimoto's immune disease, and that's what did me. And that's why I quit my job, and I rediscovered myself, my health, and so many different nuggets of fun stuff to move forward. And I can relate to so many of the stories and experiences that you've all been through. I do the lemon water and the celery, and lemon water, I really recently read that it's not warm. It needs to be room temperature, and a fresh lemon, not frozen, because I was freezing my lemons. So that's made a difference. Also the celery juice, that's huge. I'm big into organic, so I do that. It will clear out anything you got in there, trust me. Role model, I don't really have one. I look at this group as my role model. I mean, I'm 55 years old. I've got friends and family, but I don't always choose to be with them because I want to protect myself. So there you have it. Strategies, stay in proximity, number 3. Again, this group, I was hoping to, when I originally joined, I was like, I'm in module 4. Maybe I can, help have a group to like look at my business page or my Facebook, and I haven't done that yet, but I was hoping to use this group to do that, to also get some videos out there to see what people think, just reactions to that kind of stuff. So I recently did an Instagram account, though I didn't post it. I mean, I posted twice. I'm trying to get into it. Again, module 4, it's a winner. So let's see. My why are my grandbabies. I have 2 grandbabies, 3 months old and 2 years old. They're both girls. They live in North Dakota now. And the way this world is going, I do not want them to be in this world. I mean, I don't even want to think about how awful it could be. So I want to be teaching them my Jinshin Jitsu and knowing about words that you choose to say, feelings they have, not getting worn down, all that kind of stuff. Recently got into Clubhouse, though I don't know much about it. I need to learn more to that. I don't have an accountability buddy. Again, I'm relying on this group to keep me accountable. I think the reason why I haven't started my business is because I've been so involved with my family and grandkids that I just let it go, let it ride. And now here it is, a year, and it's time. It's time. My routines or models I use. I mean, the things that I learned, I went to UPW, I guess, about a month ago, March. So I learned and remembered a lot of things. So during the day, I check myself several times to make sure that my shoulders aren't up here, that my body's okay. I do hold my fingers, and I can talk about that at another time, to help with any emotion, because these are all the emotions. Worry, fear, anger, sadness, and pretense, or trying too hard. So when I feel like I'm getting in one of those attitudes, I will hold the finger and kind of get myself out of it, because it is all about being present and being in the moment, not waking up and worry about what happened yesterday and dragging all that crap into today, or worrying about the future. It's being in the moment. And when you can be in the moment and you're not in fight or flight, that's when you can heal yourself with either words or the nutrition you have, or the going outside to ground. I mean, that's living, that's being. And I believe when you're the example, that's when things can change. I mean, you be your own testimony as to what you've done to get you to where, so you can teach others. Because I really do believe everybody comes into your life to teach you something, whether you like it or not. That's a fact. Transformational vocabulary. Each word has a vibration. You got love, you got hate. When you say it, it feels in your body. So I am very careful not to use words like should or try. That is to fail. I don't do that anymore. And it just, when I hear it, I might say something like cancel, or choose a different word, because you don't need to do that damage to your body. I've suffered enough, and I've done enough damage to my body that no one else needs to do that anymore. So I want to educate everybody. I do have a vision board that
I just want to say thank you for this nice idea. Like, stop saying should and try. I'm gonna play since tomorrow.
Yes, we start today. Mantras, I'm very much into. I learned recently the ancient words that were used have so much history, and everybody that said this, and this is how I healed myself, by saying Ananda Maya Moksha. And that really, when I started getting my mind going, that's what I would say. Or do the Ho'oponopono prayer. And that's just 4 things to say. I love you. I thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. You can do it when you're in that shopping cart, waiting in line, that screaming kids over there screaming, and it like hits your head. I Ho'oponopono or hold my fingers and send it to, it's amazing. It's so much fun now to go out in public, even with the event going on. It's fun. So that I highly recommend. Number 8, the value I have is that I've been through this autoimmune disease called Hashimoto's, and I learned that my reaction and my emotions are my health. So if I'm going to react to something in a negative way and hold on to it more than 30 minutes, that's going to cause a problem. That's going to cause disharmony in my body. Then the disease is going to come back. And to do the depression, the fatigue, the aches and pains, feeling like crap, I don't want to ever go down there again. So if my husband and I get into a conversation, I'm either going to hold my fingers, watch my emotion, and listen. I don't react anymore. And both of us are type A personalities, been married 35 years, both quit our jobs 3 years ago due to health, and been home with each other in a 3,000-foot house together, alone. Every day. It's been fun, but I have all the tools to and he knows, and he does his own thing, and he does a lot of what I do, so that's good. Let's say the number 9, my past story. Well, I'm done suffering, and I don't want anybody else to suffer. I was sick and tired of being diseased and no energy, so I got my health back. I know anything you put in, on, or around your body is your environment, and you got to be very careful and protective of it. Your body is a temple. Your body is you, and you protect your soul. So physically, we are a manifested body, but our true self, our souls, want to be out and teach people and help people. And I'm so happy with this group that we're doing this now. We have a lot to learn from each other, and I have a lot to give in a loving way to just plant little seeds, because it's not for everybody. And I'm just very happy that I can connect to everybody here. So thank you.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Bridget.
So now I think
Thank
we're
you,
at,
Bridget.
thank you. Time-wise, I mean, we are a little bit early, but next steps, we need to talk about how we want to move forward. Has this worked for everybody as far as getting these questions ahead of time? How do you want to move forward? I'll just leave it open for everybody to jump in.
Maybe Jorge wants to finish what he was, I think, halfway through. If he wishes to finish what he was going through with his list.
Sure.
You don't let go, Crystal, do you?
Because
We
you're
just wanna
very
make sure
interesting,
you're not
and you
feeling
have
left
so much to share. So
Yes.
no, this is like a pure gold for me. Please,
I was just
if
going
you-
like, oh, they forgot.
There's always one.
Thank you.
Okay, if you want me, I try to go fast. I mean, I'm not prepared, so I'm riffing or I'm pulling it out of the back of my mind. We were at I'd set my why and business plan. I have several. They keep evolving because I'm developing two businesses at the same time, but I think, pretty much in control. Going back to the point of a role model, yes. Answering Richard's comment, yes, I do have both sorts of role models, but one of them is the one that I keep on leaning on, and he's actually working with me on the business plans. So he's a good guardrail for me. Also, he knows my dark sides, so he keeps an eye on me. He knows how to whistle me back.
So you have an accountability buddy then in that person.
I was going to say, I have accountability. Here I have all of you, which is going to be very helpful to continue evolving in areas that I'm not working so closely with him, but he's accountability buddy and many other things. Indeed, yes. So it's very complete. When I think of it, it's extremely, I'm very, very lucky and very rich in that. Routine and model as well. I have my morning routine. I had written something down, but I have such a mess in my notes, I don't find it anymore. Okay, it doesn't matter. I do my planning. I'm not very good at sticking to it. As one key thing is to keep my focus up, is to learn yes or no, and no is okay. I think it's been evoked by many of you today. We get sidetracked, we get sucked into things, we get diverted into things. It's a convenient thing sometimes to procrastinate, not to do what we know we have to do. We do things to help other people. Well, yes or no, and no is okay. When I ask somebody something or somebody asks me something, I insist on answering yes or no. And if it's yes, I will do it. If it's no, I'm not going to do it. Doesn't mean that I'm going to say it like I'm saying it now. It's going to be more gentle, but I don't need to be excusing myself. If I don't have the means, the time, the energy, whatever it is I'm lacking to do something, I will say so. And I'm not falling anymore into the trap of saying yes to everything and then winding up how to get it all done and winding up doing what everybody else wants and I don't get my stuff done, which means I wind up in trouble. So that's part of the model that I'm working on. My priming is fundamental. I mentioned that earlier. My priming includes the night and the morning. It leans very much on Tony Robbins' priming. That's where it stems from, but I created, of course, we all create our own priming as it works for us. And coming from a positive mindset is, for me, it changed my life. It changed my life in a tremendous way. I used to be I'm very critical still, but I used to be a very negative critical person. And that has gone away. I have that pretty much in check. And the mornings that I'm late and I'm running, and I squeeze my priming through and I didn't do my complete priming, guess what? Around 10 in the morning, I notice immediately that my mindset is not the same. I'm not performing the same. I'm not acting the same. And very often I stop, go back and do it and go through the exercise because it's just phenomenal. Sometimes it gives me shivers that how can I be so predictably transparent? But it is true. I am. It's very rich. And thanks, Tony Robbins, for that, among other things. If you've seen my video, I go back 20 some years with Tony. Transformational vocabulary is one of the things I learned from him early on because I had a very aggressive negative vocabulary. Not only loud, because I was a very loud mouth, which is how I was hiding my insecurity. I'm an introvert and shy person. Many people say, yeah, you're not. So, well, I am. I just learned over the years to behave in an extrovert way. That's my role that I play. My identity is introvert. And I've done the Myers-Briggs personality type indicator. I am as introvert as introverts come. I'm really good at that. But I'm working on it, and I don't let it be. It has its own strengths. You have your own strengths for being an introvert. So I'm trying to get the best of both worlds as much as I can. If you listen to my video, I'm mentioning my dear partner Mark. He was an extrovert. We ran our business for many years. We were the first business coaching company registered as that name 30 years ago. We were a bit ahead of the pack at the time. And he's an extrovert, and we were an extremely good team because he took all the limelight and all the things that take energy away from me, and I'd worked behind him doing all the things that introverts like to do. Although I went to public speaking, and I will share it now with you now today. Well, that took away from me like 10 years of my youth, but I overcome it. So vocabulary, yeah, positive vocabulary. I don't try things. I don't see if I can. I do them or I don't, yes or no. How I can add value to others and really understand our customer. Well, I'm pretty conscious of my avatars, and I think I do understand them, and I understand them by connecting with them, talking with them, but more than anything else, listening to them. Asking the right questions is fundamental, and taking the time to listen, and sometimes hooking on to another question. I think the questioning techniques that we use are essential to how good we communicate and connect with people, because it will show them that we care. We have to be sincere, though. I'm assuming now we're all being sincere when we care about people, and I've seen it on this call how sincere you all are. We all got hooked onto Raman's life path, and we could have gone on another 5 hours on it, riffing on it. How can I add value to others and really? Okay, I already said that. What's my past story? Oh God, how many days you got? I think I'm like you are. You know, things happen for me and not to me anymore. That was my major shift. I'm coming from South America. You know, my childhood and youth was prone with violence. I learned to solve problems by screaming and kicking and shouting until my children, one day, my little one, I think she was 3 years old, she went to me like that and said, "Daddy, why do you always look like this?" And I tell you one thing that changed my life, because she was the only one that had the courage and the honesty to say it like it was, like she saw it.
It's the king without clothes, right?
Absolutely. And I thought, is this the way you, and I start, asking questions, and it taught me that actually I was being perceived in a way. I was so scary to other people. I was such a demon. I was so aggressive. That was part of my success in business. But, like some people would call in other languages, corpses paved my way. It was really, really tough. I was tough as nails, which was unnecessary. I learned a lot since, and I continue to learn and evolve. And I'm not proud of that. I'm proud of the results, but not the way I got there. And I met up with a number of people that had to call and apologize. And people were surprised, like, "Why are you apologizing? That was 20 years ago." I said, "Yeah, but now I realize how bad it was for you." So my story is, it happened for me, not to me. It has taken a lot of energy and time to start digging those things out. But I'm determined to share those and give back. And I think there is a lot in my story. And now we compress it to 3 sentences. The story is much longer. There's a lot of, which is my new product I'm going to be launching sometime later this year, which is a kaleidoscoper. You all know what a kaleidoscope is, and I think we all are kaleidoscopes. As we turn a little turn of the wheel, our colors and demeanors, experiences, and scopes of life change. So I think that's where we're all very rich, and I'm looking forward to share with all of you and learn from all of you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I'm multitasking, so.
Never say sorry, right? Take ownership and just
Learn from
know
it.
that we all make mistakes. If they're mistakes at all, they're not really mistakes, right? They're just the way we are, and we're trying to work through and improve ourselves. We all are, right?
No judgment, no judgment.
Right.
I also made a mistake today. I didn't know we need to prepare anything at all. I saw there was an agenda, but I didn't prepare neither for the question. So this is why I also was a bit.
Well, and I think it's not as much.
But it's good to know for next time. But it's good if we know it for next time, then we know there is an agenda, or maybe we can have a look at it for the sake of time for the others.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing about the course, and I've just barely scratched the surface on module 1. Even though I was signed up on the first time they offered it. But
that's me too.
But what I find is that when I really look at what module 1 is and the depth in which they have outlined and the tasks that they've placed in front of you, they are month-long exercises in themselves. If you truly try to check off each one of those boxes and be honest about, yes, I've actually done that. I've got my role model and I keep them in proximity to me, and I communicate with them to build that network of strength, not just I called them up once, right? Or I contacted them once, but truly building that network building that mentor, that series of mentors or collaborators in developing, whether it's your business, your life, but because there are so many different facets that we look at in building not only a business, but in building our own lives and building our lives with our family, building our lives with our friends, and then building our lives with our associates, the people that we connect with to really motivate not only ourselves, but each other to drive transformation in the world. We all have that, I think, in our heart.
I was a bit disappointed about Module 1, to be honest, because I just signed up right after W, 2 weeks after. And for me, there was nothing new in it, only the last lesson where Tony was explaining this with the football field. And I was like, I'm just wasting my time. Is all this gonna go? So I honestly, if I wouldn't have seen the last lesson, I'm not sure whether I wouldn't have gone through it. And I was a little bit down when Louise then sent this email like from guys, do you want to go through it within 25 days? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get motivated by these people, because just seeing repetition things I just heard again and again, and you know, it just was a bit boring, to be honest. So this group happened at the right time for me, and I just didn't begin in the course. I only signed up in 3 weeks after UPW, I think. So it's like, yeah.
It's interesting, David, because my experience, I mean, I started with the scores first, and I must admit, the first time I went through Module 1, I felt kind of even overwhelmed in some ways. And then I went on using it, and I became part of I would call it my feathered dress, if I'm a bird, and I'm a colorful bird, not just a chicken. And then I realized that at UPW also, and I've done Pivot and I've done a number of the programs, and I've seen that every time, it's the third time I'm going through it, every time I'm discovering something new. Every time I'm discovering a certain new color and a certain aspect of it, like, I hadn't thought of that one, or I haven't seen it that way, or maybe it doesn't apply as much as I thought it did, or applies different. So I don't know about whether it will help you that, but to me, it has helped me going through it in detail, pretending I'd not done it before, and I'm going through it again, and that was quite enlightening. Maybe it's because I'm so old that I'm losing some of it, and I have to go back.
I think I'm about your age, to be honest. So no, but I just also worked with the Power app. I just did 3 or 4 from the Breakthrough app lessons, and then you just the guys, they say it's the same thing. I just did also a challenge with Dean, with whatever, and I just hear everything again and again. So you will know it at the end, definitely. But I hope that starting from Module 2, there is more new stuff in it for me.
If I may, on this one, for next time, for Module 2, as I went through the whole course, so I can tell you which one is like, not a repeat and something we'll have to focus on probably more, I think it's Module 2. Module 2, you would wish to not miss any of the videos that are going to be there. Of course, we're not going to be able to do all the exercises in a very deep way, but literally, if there are probably 2 modules out of the 6 that I'm more than happy to do it again, because clearly this one is going to be key for you for business, like for building your business plan, for knowing your clients, for really understanding the famous question of why. But it's a why with the how. So it is a pretty much long model compared to the others. So there are more and more sections. And what I would suggest is that, I guess all of you have anyway these documents in the platform. So either print them and go through them, but really try to take the time to answer to the questions. To be honest with you, I mean, I did all of it in I would say literally like staying, just doing it 3 days and a half, 4 days for the whole 6 models. But if there is one that I did properly, like, applying to myself, it was this one. So if you can do it, that's going to be, advice. If you can do all of it, like at least go through all the videos, you don't have time to apply it to yourself, to all of it, at least start with the ideal client, because this is where you learn even more about yourself. And coming back to the session we had last time with I think it was Brian show, for those who joined last time, about the X factors, and you will find part of it in here. So yeah, I would highly recommend that you as much as you can, because I know that we're all working and it's not always easy with our schedules. But if there is one model that you're not going to get bored, you're going to learn a lot, that you're going to be like more than happy to go through it and apply it to yourself, is this one. And I think it was a game changer for me. Even if I knew what I wanted to do, and I wanted to lunch, who I want to speak to, when I did this one, I totally changed my avatar. I totally changed what I want to do. I totally discovered something that actually I never thought of. And it made me like it put me clearly in the right path, and kind of helped me like really draw everything I want to do. So that's from my experience. And I think that it can be interesting, before we meet next Sunday, if it makes sense for you, that whoever struggles with any chapter, any video, just raise your hand in the chat group and say, okay, I'm not sure what does this one mean, and how I can apply it and all these things, so that you can be ready for the next weekend. So yeah, and I think it can be interesting for next weekend if you really want to see, even for those who won't be able to go through all of it, to like we take 1 or 2 hot seats, and we just go through how we apply it to someone, and we help this person at the end, answer to the questions if she was not clear on the answers, or maybe she had answered but she never thought of something. It will help us grow, all of us, for our businesses, and we can even do this hot seat for every session, depending on like where we stand.
Can I support what you're saying with one recommendation or one request? Can we, when we have questions that we need to share, we need input, to put them into the group and not on the messenger? Because messenger becomes really, really long and difficult to follow. It keeps going on all the time, and I don't have the time to keep looking every time there is a message. So there's something that we need, that we put it onto. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to be able to help if I can, or to put
focus. Right.
Keep it focused. Yeah. So Facebook only, put a post there, kind of leave the messenger to kind of do
for messaging, but not to put discussion topics.
You probably could, in the messenger, note that you've asked the question.
Sure.
Yeah. Follow up with the Facebook.
People can, depending on what platform they're looking
That's
at.
helpful. Yes. Good idea.
It's very distracting in the sense, like Richard's saying, or Jorge's saying, there's so much going on that I'm missing stuff because I don't know when to go in. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I don't have the time to go back, and I start scrolling back and back and back and back. And it's like, wow, it's endless.
Yeah, but maybe for the Facebook group, I'm not sure, we have more and more people joining in the Facebook group, but they're not all in our, chat group. So maybe we can continue with our chat group or something. And when it comes to kind of, documents or anything we want to share that is really for everyone, then yes, clearly we have to leverage on Facebook. Like if you want to communicate for the next talk session or Zoom session, or what other questions you want to work on. But maybe if you want to go through like someone who has a question, or we're gonna discuss like someone's topic or something, I'm not sure it would make sense, to post something on Facebook for everyone, even for people who will be maybe less engaged somehow in this process.
But it's the same group, isn't it?
Not everyone is in here. You see,
I think it's up to like 30 people in the Facebook, and we only had up to 17 today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so they're both supposed to be the same people. But some people raise their hands and are not participating, right? Just like in anything. But the Facebook group should have everyone from here. And, I think it's hard to find stuff during the day. Like there's, I think Crystal, she put something really good, and I was trying to go back, and even my messenger wouldn't go back 2-3 days like prior. So I think we should leverage Facebook groups better. And I think that was part of the agenda too, like what's next. And the Facebook group is the thing, I think, that to discuss. I know now we don't have much time anymore. But I know not everyone's going on the Facebook group. So if we can say a note, sort of like I put a question in the Facebook group and we all go there, at least we have it tracking and we can all benefit from it. If not, we're going to lose it. We're never going to see how the person got help, because it's just going to be all over the place. Anyways, that's my thoughts.
And there's a search in the Facebook anyway, right? So we could search for specific topics.
That's only helpful if you know the keywords, but I do understand from all of the point of view, because I'm guilty of not following all of the posts in Facebook. I've just been trying to incorporate social media more in my from what I'm doing at the moment. So I'm gonna definitely catch up with that one. So I think if it's possible, like maybe to put a follow up like in a chat group, it's like, oh, by the way, there's a post, and then you can check it there. But with the messenger, the one way I found is that's how I could resend quickly the link, because that day I went, there's like, you all know, probably know anyway, it's like a search, but then obviously you would have to know the keywords, like even if it's just one word, it just will highlight all of the texts, and then it's a little bit quicker. But that's only helpful if you know what was the topic talked about.
I got it. Okay.
Now in the Facebook group, you know, I'm a little bit social media challenged as well. In the Facebook group, if you ask a question in a group that you're in, does it send you a notification that so-and-so posted in that group?
I think that's a good question. I think it depends on how you set it up. And that's the challenge. It's if you put something on Facebook group, you may not know. So that's why I think we're going to have to kind of just say in the messenger every day, like, please go check the great question. And then,
Louisa, you can set your notifications
settings. Yeah.
To follow and get push notifications or not. So like I turned off my push notifications for that group in Messenger, because it was like I was in meetings and the thing was like going off. So it was not fun. But I still can see the feed. It's just not going off. So you can choose that. Facebook's a little bit different when someone posts, you know, but you can have it either on your screen or, you know, like different formats, whatever is your preference.
And I guess the notifications that I'm referring to, because you're right, I do on several of the groups that I do mute the notifications for like 8 hours or something, because yes, they do tend to get distracted. And this was the notifications that I'm talking about is like on your Facebook. Doesn't it tell you, like, let's say, like mine, it says Beverly posted on KBB or, you know, something, and
not always
on yours, and say, oh, okay, I need to see what Louisa said on the KBB and stuff like that.
Not always, because then let's say you belong to 20 groups. If every time someone posts that, you would have so much in your feed. So they only do random things, you know, with their algorithms. So if you want to have all those notifications, you'll go in, you'll see what it is. When you're on the page, it says notifications. So you can change how you're following, so on and so forth, and see what works best for you. And you could, you know, I don't know if you can turn it on and off, but yeah.
I think, yes, you can. Basically, when you go to the group, you choose which groups do you want to have notifications for every single post, or it's just the highlights. So when you go to specific group, then go to settings, and you have various options. And one of the options is just highlights. Another one is every single message, every single post. So if you turn that on, every single post that comes on that group, you're going to have notified. You're going to be notified about it. So that's how you do. So me personally, the very busy groups, I switch that off. But the ones like this one, just very few people, I've got that on. So that's, but you can control, you manage that.
Yeah, I've seen those two options on whether you want to do the highlights or the other. So that's awesome.
Thanks for that. Anything else? Because I know we're over time now. So
just a quick question, like, can we just put out just like, you know, let's say module 2 headline, like, you know, have the headings module 2, and then everybody can just post in there, like, instead of having our individual, like, you know, postings.
That's a great idea.
Ooh, yeah.
Right. So like in module 2, like then everybody just like, you know, comment under that, and so everybody can reply under that. So instead of like, oh, what Raman is saying, or what like David, or like, you know, Richard, or like, yeah.
Yeah, and also, Raman, the good point is that we're not all at the same rate. Like, we're not all doing it, you know, life, we have so many different things going on in our lives. So I think that's a great idea. So if somebody wants to just do that, they can put in a search just for those keywords. Okay.
Yeah, and like I'm not sure if we can put those audios, like like say for the module 1, so like we can just like those voice recordings, we can just add those, like instead of listening to the whole half an hour, if you just want to be like, okay, what this person put in, so we can just add those, those voice recordings, like how you make a note to yourself, like for me, like I have to have it written and have to have it in audio, so I can just like instead of going again, I can just listen to the brief part, like what the brief message is, kind of a thing. If we can add those, I don't know how though.
So can I also ask you a question for the people who has done the whole course, all the modules, because it seems that there's some people that have done once or twice or maybe even more. Do you have the software that comes with it, that goes along with it? If you,
yes, I do.
Who does? Okay, and yes, do you find it essential to? Do you find it that do you recommend to have it? Do you find it essential? Because or do you think it's not a?
Are you talking about the mastermind?
No, not the mastermind. No, the actual software that goes with KBB. This the
but that is mastermind. And actually, I don't have the books. I only have the access to mastermind.
No, I do have access to mastermind, which is basically to create courses.
Yes.
But the KBB comes sort of, you could buy with the software, which is like Mint software, MINT.
No, Mint is just an app.
Mint. Just an app.
No, MindMint was the predecessor of Mastermind. MindMint is dead. MindMint belongs to the older people like me, the ancient people that did, implementation lab and stuff. And the thing died and was replaced by Mastermind. But today in Mastermind, you have the login. That's something they support should help you. The login in Mastermind is the one that takes you to the KBB course.
Yes. Okay, I thought I was missing out something. I thought I didn't have the full package. So
no, actually, the old ones like me, we don't have the books. We only have the software.
But so you can download them. You can download them.
No, I know. Yeah, but I'm happy working. I'm making my own notes on my diary, and I don't use any of the journals. I read them, but I make my notes as I see fit, as it helps me. So that's my way of working.
Yeah, personally, I wish I did have, because I think I signed up right before it switched. So I wish I did have the physical workbooks, but yeah, I mean, I guess we could download them because I'm a writer, so I'd like to write in them, but yeah.
But the software though expired because I bought it May last year, and now you have to, from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, but now you have to have a membership to Mastermind or whatever it is in order
Mastermind,
right?
Yeah, Mastermind, I think you need to be a member. You have to have a member. You do a test first, and then you pay a membership.
Okay.
Because it was free for 1 year at the time, MindMint. And then MindMint, like I said, it went over the wayside because it was replaced by Mastermind. And Mastermind was designed with Russell Brunson based on ClickFunnels.
Okay.
And they did away with what they did before.
I have to check to see what I have.
See, I signed up like Richard. I signed up a year ago, and I actually got the workbooks, but I need help with going through. Is there any way, like maybe we could set up like a work study, or maybe somebody could, if anybody's up to I don't know, like helping each person, because we're all at different modules, I think. And I am hesitating doing even module 1 because I'm struggling with, I'm a visual person, and being a book learner does not work for me. So I need someone to like tell me what they're meaning by this. That's the thing and that's probably why I've hesitated and not even opened it. I opened it the other day and I'm like, oh. So I just need some help, just talking back and forth with someone.
I'm happy to do that with you. If you want to reach me out, I mean, Zoom sometimes is more challenging, but Skype, my Skype name is Richard Krent. One word, just all together. So if anyone wants to reach me on Skype, I'm perfectly willing to work with anyone who'd like, and more than happy to
there's
help.
also a text from each module inside. So you have the video, but you have also the full text written in each module. And then you have also just only the voice. So you have 3 different presentations of each module. So if you prefer like looking at video, you can watch video. If you prefer reading it, you can just download it and read the text. And if you prefer listening to, you can listen to it.
Now,
All are available.
Now, David, are the videos, and I just re-signed on to my mastermind, and like George was saying, that they have in the mastermind, they have the whole KBB course now.
That I don't know.
Yeah, they updated, and and so I'm like, I was a little thrown off, and I'm like, okay, is this KBB or is it mastermind? I was like, so I didn't know which videos. So
well, if you click on the KBB 2.0.
Oh, yes,
right?
that's what it is.
And,
yeah.
Yeah, and you click on that, and it'll come up, and you can just scroll through the various pieces. You can go back, forward, and walk yourself through it. More than happy to help out. Just remember, I'm 7 hours ahead of East Coast time.
So I'm in Arizona, so we're Pacific time right now.
Yeah,
Arizona doesn't change, so half the year we're Pacific and half the year we're Mountain.
Yes.
Well, to make it simpler, I'm also available, Richard. If you want assistance, you want to share, I can help also. I'm just in Central European time, like Halle.
Oh,
so.
thank you.
Try to make it before 3 in the morning my time, if you can.
Right.
Richard and Skype.
It's a little after 10 in the evening right now.
Oh my goodness.
Past 9, so.
Well, it's 12:15. It's just afternoon here.
No, here it's like getting later. I just have one question. From which time on in the KBB modules do you need to start to go through the mastermind exercise? Is it combined or not, or is it just separately? Because till now, I wanted to look in the mastermind. I saw what you have to do to put on a course. But is it also within the KBB course? Is there like from model 4 or 5 where you need to start to grade it? I don't know, because I didn't look through at it yet then.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Christian. There is a model, it's called, actually it's number 3. It's called Marketing Strategy. And there is a video that will help you go through creating a course in mastermind.com. But also they will show you so great strategies, how to launch a Facebook page, how to make ads, like a Facebook ads page, how to do organic ads. They're gonna show you how you can create funnels. So it's way beyond mastermind.com. So yes, and you'll have every information that you would need. And it's probably one of the chapters that is so amazing, but you have to decide, do you want to create a Facebook page first? Do you want to do mastermind.com first? Because it's everything in there. So just have the choice.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, and one thing that I was thinking of doing is Janice, thanks for mentioning and raising your hand for help. You're not the only one. There's few people who've mentioned or messaged me. So one thing that comes to mind is, let's say a bit what Hala did, right? She's like, I need some help, or I'd like to, go through this with someone. And then a few people said, yeah, I'm interested. So we're setting up a call, or she's going to set up a Zoom call. We can do the same thing with you. And then a bunch of people come together and help you out. It's like a hot seat, with you. And I think we're going to do more and more of those, because as we go, it's more hands-on. So a lot of the material, it's kind of like videos and like text, but at the end of the day, we need to do it. So you might be a kinesist, you might need to be doing it and having help doing it. So I think we'll just do more of those.
That would be great.
My kids are screaming in the back, so I'll go on mute.
That's awesome.
I just want to add one thing. As when I did sign up actually to KBB, I was not meant to do KBB. I initially signed up for mastermind.com, and I don't know for which reason I just clicked on the highest package. So I was supposed to have kind of a training every month, which actually happened to happen, and it's really interesting. It is not a very, how can I say? It's like a 30 minutes talk with Dave. and he's gonna cover one topic. But even it's not like the same, I would say, added value as Tony when he speaks or Dean that speaks, I was able to gather some information that is like from on the practical side, like interesting. And one thing probably is one of the best things that I will keep in my whole life is this book. So I'm gonna send you the name of the book. If you read this book, you can sell whatever you want to sell. And honestly, whatever your story is, if you're able to answer to 10 questions, to these 10 questions, like honestly, and like you believe in the answer that you give to these 10 questions, you can earn whatever. And I started applying it even at work, and it's working. So I'm going to share with you. And if I did not actually jump into this mastermind.com training that was offered at the time when I signed up, there was no way I would be able to get this book. And it's really a great one. It's very short to read. It's not complicated. It has examples, and it works all the time. So
what's the name?
Huh?
What's the name?
What's the name?
Is I'm gonna send it in the chat, but the name is the 16-word sales letter, and it's by Elvado Albuquerque. And actually, you will see that Model 2, part of it from Dean and Tony, is inspired by this book.
Okay.
So, and what's interesting you how someone who is not a native like American speaker or English speaker was able to get to the highest sales ever out of all the copywriters.
Okay, I don't. My challenge is I don't comprehend stuff that I read. Is it on Audible? Do you know?
Good question. I don't know, but I can check because I have the link. I know
I can't find it in Audible. I'm looking for it myself. But it was 16 words.
But maybe they haven't added it. I'm gonna check for you, but I'm gonna send you the link anyway with the with the name. I just bought it from Amazon, and it's actually quite expensive. I found for like very short book, it's like 35 euros here. So for 35 euros, you need to get a really added value book. But it is honestly one of the best books ever I read, and I can tell you I have a huge number of books that I read every day, and this one is like, I'm gonna take it with me wherever I go, because that's the winning book ever. Whenever you like, I think tomorrow I'm gonna be able to sell to my son whatever I want to sell, and I'm gonna be better than him in negotiation that he is compared to me today. So I think it's worth having.
And I love my organization that I work for. We have a group that we read a book. And I love that for the last 3 or 4 times, the books that they have suggested were on Audible. So I can listen to them while my brain just absorbs things better by listening to them. I grew up thinking that I was just slow because I couldn't comprehend the stuff that I was reading. And if I read something and you asked me what I read, I couldn't tell you. So I found out later, obviously, that I was a visual learner. I absorb more when I hear it than when I actually read it. So I hope it's on Audible. I could try to read it and comprehend it, but Tatiana, she's so cute.
So actually, I did check for you, but it's not on Audible. But the good news with this book is that you only have 1 page to read. That should be okay. And actually it's written pretty big. So honestly, if you can spend, take your coffee in the morning, read this just 1 page, you should be all set.
Okay.
I just sent you the name, but it's
worst case, we'll read it to you, Janice. We make schedules, so we'll read it to you.
Probably I'm gonna buy this book, and then I like to have my voice notes. So I will paraphrase, because it's the same thing. Over the time, I noticed like I will listen to things, but I wouldn't even remember what the hell it was. Like if I paraphrase and repeat it to myself. Oh, okay. So from this lesson, this is what I learned. Okay, like just for an example, sorry, just give me 1 second. Let's say for the first one. So this is what I figured, that the fear is the first thing that stops you. It's like false evidence appearing real. So like I have my small tiny notes and I just record those. Then I just listen to that instead of me trying to just listen to the 20-minute video. because you always have a time constraint. So that's like tiny, like, you know, thingies. Okay, this is what it is, like blah, blah, blah. So if you guys wanted any, Janice, so I have those voice notes. I can just send it to you on the Facebook Messenger.
What's the name of that mini Tatiana? There is a mini Tatiana there. What's her name?
What's the name?
Oh, the baby.
I'm Eliza.
One more time.
I am Eliza.
Hey, Liza, nice to meet you. You're so pretty.
Yeah, you're so beautiful.
Hi, Eliza.
She's so cute.
Mini mommy.
Yeah, both have the same smile, so beautiful.
Yeah, they do. They do. It's a mini Tatiana. Eliza.
And the hair.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
There you go.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Luisa, you need to bring yours on one of these days.
Yes, for sure.
Oh,
they're coming.
Coming up.
We want to be on. There you go.
Next time, or in 2 weeks. Because next time I won't have them, so it'll be much quiet, and then I have them every week. So wait. So I think we're good to wrap up, right? Richard, I'll let you, Richard and Bridget, wrap it up.
All right. Well, really appreciate everybody and their thoughts and progress in going through this session. I think we all learned something from each one of these sessions. And again, I thank you for setting this up initially, as well as all of you for being here, because I think that is the most important thing, is that we show up and we participate, and really all of us can grow from this.
And with everybody's permission, I will load this recording up to the Facebook page, and we could just add on that and, you know, go from there. So I think the only other question I have, Luisa, is is there any way that we can get the agenda a little bit ahead of Sunday?
For sure. So we're kind of all getting set up with the structure. So I'll be talking with Hala, since she's going to be setting up the next meeting. So we'll have everything set up ahead of time. And I think even the future modules, we can just have the agenda for everything way ahead, and then whoever wants to monitor just facilitates that session.
So do you want me to continue to doing the Zoom on Sunday?
No, well, the thing is, I don't have a membership. I canceled my membership. So we need a membership, but whoever wants to facilitate could take it on. So I know next week Hala raised her hand. If there's anyone else that wants to go with her, I mean, that's up to you all. And yes, it's just kind of like having someone facilitate the session. So, I mean, we could chat on that on Facebook group and kind of have an agenda, and like everybody picks the day they want to do it. And, you know, it's good that we rotate, because like now Hala's bringing up like new ideas, and then someone else will bring up other ideas. And like today we had, you know, you too. So we're going to learn from everyone, and it's kind of making us do these lives, right? We're practicing. So it's allowing us to get ready for our time.
Plus too, just having that experience with people coming in and me trying to mute this person, you know, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't as stressful as what I thought, but you do have to pay attention. So
yeah, you could totally keep doing it if you're okay with that. That would super be helpful to everyone. But in terms of monitoring, like facilitating the room, like you could do it as well. Somebody else can do it. And I guess we can set up a schedule on that.
And if I may just to add something with regard to what you said, Bridget, for uploading the video, maybe for like, you know, for Raman, we can cut it, you know, for the end when we started discussing more about her personal life. I don't know if she's going to be comfortable that we share this part of her life, you know, online and with people coming. But of course, it's her call. On my side, I'm all good. But okay. You know, I prefer that, you know, as we shared maybe more personal information other than just the KBB part at the Module 1, it can be interesting, you know, to maybe just cut it in there.
That's a good point.
I don't know how to edit though, so I would need someone to help me. Do you just cut it and then?
Anyway,
I'm with you, Bridget.
I'm okay with that. Like I own that part. It's just like, you know, I'm not, I don't want to, yeah, I'm okay if it's like, whatever, you don't have to just spend extra time. So, yeah.
Well, we're gonna find a way. We're gonna find a way to cut it in there, you know, just, you know, have the video for the KBB part number one, module number one, and the rest is something more of, I mean, it's in between us, because somehow it helps us to know more each other, get close to each other, and it's, you know, it's more privacy. And I think it's better for you, you know, you can be sleeping relief, not wondering if this video comes up one day or whatever. So, you know, you have to handle. You don't need one.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Hala.
Like Louisa said, we this is all new, and we're just kind of like forming it as we go.
Yes.
And you know what, you never know, like we may have such a solid structure that this becomes like a routine, and every couple of weeks new people are coming in, and you guys are like the seniors in the Facebook group. People are coming in, and like you may want to just jump in and help out. Like this might become like a huge movement, you know, so we're just kind of just setting it up now.
Been a senior for a decade already, so that's fine.
Sounds good. Yes. Somebody wanted to say something?
I just want to say that I'm very happy that I could join tonight, and I just want to say thank you to every single one of you. Thank you to Louisa for the first initiative. Thank you, Bridget, for hosting it. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, all of you. Hala, Crystal, Georg,